thought about what could possibly go wrong with a stranger living under the same roof? It's a question that might have crossed your mind if you've ever found yourself in a roommate situation. The thrill of new company, the promise of shared bills, the potential of lasting friendships. But, as we all know, life isn't always a walk in the park. Picture this. You've just moved into a quaint little apartment, and you're sharing the space with someone you barely know. Exciting, isn't it? But then the excitement gives way to curiosity. Curiosity turns into suspicion, and before you know it, you're living in a real-life horror story. Now, I'm not trying to scare you, but did you know that 1 in 3 people have reported having a roommate from hell? Yes, you heard that right. 1 in 3. And those are just the ones who live to tell the tale. From unwashed dishes to uninvited guests, from late-night raves to early morning rants, the list of potential horror stories is endless. But some tales are so chilling, they make your average noisy, messy roommate look like an angel. And that's exactly what we're here to explore, the dark side of cohabitation. The tales that make your skin crawl and your heart race. The stories that make you question whether you really know the person sleeping in the room next door. So, are you ready? Are you sure? Alright then, let's set the scene. A quiet university town, a creaky old house, and 3 unsuspecting students blissfully unaware of the horrors that await them. This is not for the faint of heart, my dear listeners. This is a journey into the unknown, into the dark corners of shared living. This is the Roommate Roulette. Buckle up, dear listeners, as we dive into the first of our 3 chilling tales. Imagine waking up to a masterpiece on your bedroom wall, painted in blood. It's an image that chills the spine, isn't it? This is the tale of a college student who experienced just such a shocking sight. In the heart of a bustling university town, a young man named Alex shared a small 2-bedroom flat with his roommate, a quiet art student named Theo. Theo was an introverted soul, his world revolving around his sketches and canvases. But one night, his artistic tendencies took a sinister turn. Alex was roused from his sleep by the faint, rhythmic swishing of a paintbrush. Blinking against the darkness, he turned to see Theo, silhouetted against their shared wall. In the dim light, Alex could make out the dark, glistening paint on the wall. It was only when he squinted did he realize that the paint was actually blood. The horror of it rooted Alex to his spot. He watched as Theo dipped his brush into a small pot, filled not with crimson paint but with his own blood, drawn from a fresh cut on his arm. Theo's face was a mask of serene concentration, oblivious to the terror he was instilling in his roommate. In the days that followed, Theo's behavior grew increasingly erratic. He started to withdraw, spending hours alone in their shared room, painting his macabre murals. His once vibrant eyes were now hollow, his face pale and gaunt. The jovial art student was nowhere to be found, replaced by this unrecognizable entity. The climax came one chilling night when Alex woke to find Theo standing over him, paintbrush in hand, his own blood dripping onto the sheets. The sight of his roommate, eyes vacant, face expressionless, sent Alex into a panic. He fled the apartment, never to return. In the end, Theo was found by the authorities, his body lifeless beside his final blood-soaked masterpiece. A tragic end to a young man consumed by his own dark creativity. The sight of blood-stained walls was forever etched into his memory. This is the haunting tale of the Midnight Artist, a disturbing reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected of places. What if your roommate wasn't the only one living in your apartment? Imagine this chilling scenario, where your sanctuary becomes a stage for uncanny events that defy explanation. Meet Jane, an ordinary woman with an ordinary life. She shared a quaint little apartment with her roommate, nestled in the heart of the city. Life was uneventful until one day, when Jane started noticing something strange. Her things would randomly go missing. A lipstick here, a book there. She brushed it off as forgetfulness until it became a pattern too conspicuous to ignore. The nights didn't offer any respite either. Jane was often awakened by strange noises that seemed to emanate from within the walls of her apartment. A soft scuttling like something moving around. Whispers that seemed to float in the air, too faint to make out any words. She thought it was her roommate, but the sounds persisted even when her roommate was away. Jane's confusion soon turned into fear, the fear of an unseen presence lurking in the shadows, the fear of not being alone, even when she was the only one in the apartment, the fear of the unknown. One day, her fear took a tangible form. Jane and her roommate decided to investigate the attic. a place they had not ventured into since they moved in. They climbed up the creaky stairs, the air growing colder with each step. The attic was filled with dust and cobwebs, a sign of its long neglect. But amidst the dust and darkness, they found something that made their hearts drop. A makeshift bed, some old food cans, and a pile of their missing things. Someone had been living in their attic, an unwelcome guest who had been silently sharing their space. The realization was as chilling as the cold attic air. In that moment, Jane understood the terrifying truth. The noises, the missing items, the feeling of being watched. It was all connected. Their apartment had an unseen tenant. She was never alone, even when she thought she was. Ever had a roommate who turned your life into a living nightmare? Picture this. A man, let's call him Milo, is living in a 2-bedroom apartment in the heart of a bustling city. His roommate, a seemingly ordinary guy, starts showing signs of hostility. First, it's minor disagreements that escalate into full-blown arguments. The tension is palpable, like a thick fog that refuses to lift. Now imagine Milo's fear when these verbal disputes take a sinister turn. His roommate becomes more aggressive, resorting to threats and violent outbursts. It's not just the occasional slammed door or angry text message, it's a daily barrage of hostility that turns the apartment, once a sanctuary, into a battlefield. Milo tries to keep the peace, to stay in his lane, but the threats become more menacing. Roommate's rage, once confined to words, now threatens to spill over into physical violence. He finds himself on the receiving end of a punch, a kick, a shove. Incident leaving him more fearful, more desperate for a way out. One night things reach a fever pitch. The roommate's fury is unleashed in a terrifying torrent. Cornered and fearing for his life, does the only thing he can. He calls the police. Sound of sirens cuts through the night, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Police arrive and Milo's roommate is arrested. Apartment is quiet, but the silence is far from comforting. A stark reminder of the horror that unfolded within these walls. Is safe, but he's not unscathed. Been through the ringer, emotionally, mentally, and physically. His trust in others is shattered, his sense of security stripped away. His home, once a place of comfort and safety, is now a crime scene, a constant reminder of his ordeal. He escaped the nightmare, but the ordeal left him scarred. 3 tales of terror, each more chilling than the last. But what can we take away from these stories? Let's take a moment to reflect upon the horrific experiences we've just journeyed through. Each story was a stark reminder of the dangers and unexpected horrors that can arise from sharing a living space. First, we delved into the unsettling world of the roommate roulette. It's a stark reminder that when you're playing the roommate game, the stakes can be higher than just dirty dishes and loud music. It's a game of trust, and sometimes that trust can be shattered in the most horrifying ways. Next, we navigated the eerie tale of The Midnight Artist. It's a chilling testament that the most terrifying monsters are often those that wear a human face, blending into our everyday lives. It's crucial to remember that beneath the surface, there could be a sinister secret waiting to be unveiled. Finally, we explored the disturbing narrative of The Unseen Tenant. This story is a grim reminder that sometimes the most horrifying things are the ones we can't see. It emphasizes the importance of being vigilant and aware of our surroundings, even in the comfort of our own homes. In all these tales, one thing remains constant: the importance of safety and trust when sharing a living space. It's crucial to know who you are living with, to maintain open lines of communication, and to trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Remember, living with roommates is more than just sharing a space. It's about coexisting, understanding, and respecting each other's boundaries. It's about creating a home, a safe haven, where everyone feels comfortable and secure. So the next time you're on the hunt for a roommate, tread carefully. Ensure you know who you're inviting into your home and into your life. Remember, it's not just about sharing a space, it's about coexisting. Choose your roommates wisely, lest you become a part of a horror story yourself.